I felt the most open and the most welcomed into, because of the universality of these roles.
For the most part, the roles are pretty universal. And I think they're universal because it was a bunch of boys playing the parts.
Yep.
And you're just like, imagine if you were a woman. Imagine if you were a black guy. And so now, thanks to like time moving forward, it's like, imagine you were a man.
So often, like, the first thing to think is, I'm a woman playing a man, I need to be more of a man to play this role. And it's more like, how do I, as a woman, meet this masculine character? There are very masculine attributes to Richmond that are also very like present in the female psyche.
Totally.
So it's less of like, I need to figure out how manly Richmond is as a woman, and more like, how does Richmond as a female possess and take action upon these more masculine traits.
Shakespeare was writing these plays, as we were saying before, all men were on stage playing
Exactly.
women. So it's like, why can we not play the male parts now?
Exactly. I would be interested in doing a 40-year-old Juliet with a 40, like, you know, like, if there's something to be done with that, but why? Like, you didn't want to do it with me when I was young enough because I didn't have the right hair, the right face. I wasn't cute enough for it. The last offer that I got for something was the all-male Julius Caesar, which seems to be the thing right now, and I got to do Mark Antony, and I'm like, yes, I want to do that. Call me and offer me Richard. Call me and offer me all of the guys' parts, because I'm over it. Like, don't give me Juliet. I'm happy. We don't get to have the discussions that, the guys get to have about playing Coriolanus and all those other things.
I'll always fight for Shakespeare as a humanist.
Yeah.
So my feeling is, he understood something about the simple fact. Granted, he's writing these parts for young boys who are going to play women. Nevertheless, he gives this incredible stuff to these women characters, and whose circumstances are adverse. I mean, Julia's the only one who's going after her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, Viola is in this horrible shipwreck and has lost her father and her brother, and how do I'll be my brother. I'll be my brother so I can survive and think of what plan B is going to be.
I have a different body and space. It is hard sometimes for people to see me as a woman, like a sensual, someone that can be in love with a man, so I've actually had more experience being a woman playing a man than I have playing a woman. And I've, held on to that as best as I can, and I always go for it, and it's an extremely fun, exciting acting, experience. But I would love to play Juliet, and I would love to play Julia, and I would love to play those roles that are, so you have it like damsel in distress or whatever, because I haven't had those opportunities more. People have had a harder time to see me in a role where I can be in love with a man that's average height, that's like, that's a possibility.
Right.
And so, but in a way, the beauty of Shakespeare is that I still can be cast, right? But in that different way.
We have to, as a society, recognize that there's been years of Greek writing that told us what women were, and Shakespeare writes, but I think I would like to believe that it's far more universal, and that it's up to the company in terms of how we deal with those things and what we want to do with it, what we want to say with those things.
If you do have, it's a new group of people every time you're in a table read or table work, that all those different ideas and different experiences can contribute to that storytelling.
You're right.
And actually infuse
Absolutely.
it with something better and ours. It's ours, because we all gave a little something to it.
They got something vital to say for this time, this group. I mean, energetically, it's always going to be different.
It has to be true. And that's why people want to see Richard III for the 10th time, the 20th time, any of his plays, because they do just sort of hold that mirror up. And I kind of, this play in the year 3000 is going to be so different than it is now. It was different in 1750, I think that's just the beauty sort of his work.